Guys, it is that time of the year. It is the worst movies of 2000. Well, it is time. There we go. Wait, hold on. Cut back. It is that time of the year. It is time to name off the worst movies of 2016. Now, I was gonna wait because I'm waiting on my best because there are still some movies that I haven't seen yet. You know, me living in a small town. I don't live in New York or Los Angeles, so I am not blessed with seeing amazing movies like Manchester by the Sea and La La Land. Oh, I want to see La La Land. But for my worst of list, I was looking it over and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to see anything worse than what I have. I've heard about the new Collateral Beauty, which I was thinking about. I was like, man, do I want to wait until I see that? Then I was like, but do I want to spend my money on it? Do I go Rogue One or Collateral Beauty? Let's think here for a second. Exactly. I'm gonna go fucking see Rogue One. Guys, here it is without further ado. The worst movies of 2016. Let's do this. It should have been a fun action movie. Why? The sky's the limit in this movie. At number 10 is Central Intelligence.
Which car are we taking?
Not that one.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Now I know, this movie got a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. The movie was a success in the box office. Justin, why'd you hate it? Why are you such a downer? I don't know, I just didn't like it. I thought that, and trust me, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, whoa, yes. It should have been a fun action movie. And if it was just a stupid action movie, I would have accepted it. But the fact that it was trying to be like a real good movie in the end is the thing that killed it for me, is the thing that made the movie a complete disaster. Especially when they tried, instead of being an action movie, it just wanted to be an anti-bully movie. Which is cool and everything, it's well-intentioned. But it just didn't work out with the tone. Like, if you're gonna do that, then I don't know. If you're gonna go full-on action comedy, go full-on action comedy. At number 9 is a movie that I really, again, I thought this movie was gonna be fucking amazing when I saw the trailer. I was like, whoa, yes, Ben Affleck is kind of like the Bourne Identity. It's The Accountant.
Who are you?
And wow, dude, this movie is kind of, it's not horrible, you know, it's not completely terrible, but the last act is pretty horrible, man. With like the last few minutes, this huge plot twist comes in, and it's just like, wow, okay. And just because of that plot twist, everything isn't resolved. Like, the movie thinks that was like the major question, but there are all these questions. Like, I don't know if they were thinking like there's gonna be a franchise. I hope not, because the ending is really, it's kind of offensive, man. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's kind of an offensive movie. And I'm not a guy who gets offended easily. I love people pushing the limits, or not the, pushing the envelope. There we go. At number 8 is Term Life. You wanna know why?
He's dead before morning.
Kate?
Not quite, sweetheart. Nick, I want you to listen to me very carefully.
You listen to me, you...
I just saved your life. Okay, a thank you would be nice.
Well, this is what I should say. Term Life, because, like, you guys probably haven't even heard of this movie, and that's completely okay. Don't worry about it. It's just not good. It's Vince Vaughn in an action movie. Do I have to say anything else? At number 7, The Do-Over. And it's because it's Adam Sandler in an action movie. What else can I say?
I went to too heavy on the roofies, Charlie.
What's going on?
I did it.
I made your wish come true. You could start from scratch.
Wait, what?
I faked our deaths.
You get a brand new life.
I'll fucking kill you! Oh!
It's Adam Sandler's second Netflix movie, and if you are a lover of my channel, then you know my last year's list. The Ridiculous Six, my #1 worst movie of the year. Like, I thought that movie was horrible, but The Do-Over is slightly better than that, but that does not mean that it is a good movie. The movie is fucking horrible. It's misogynistic, it's racist, it's stereotypical, it's all of those words that critics love to use. I'm not really a critic, but you know what, I like to manipulate myself into thinking I'm smarter than I actually am. So that's what I think. Like, the movie, like, David Spade is whatever, and Adam Sandler is whatever, because they're like playing different characters. They're not playing like the typical schlubs, they're playing like different kinds of schlubs. And, but once it goes to the plot twist, man, it's such a bad movie. Like, it's just, The Do-Over and Central Intelligence are like exactly the same, because they both are trying to be this fun action movie, and like an adventure, but try to be a real movie and try to have a real message in the end. And it's like, man, that does not work in this movie like genre. It does not work. Like, you don't see Rush Hour trying to teach people lessons. That you see Rush Hour just being Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker running around beating people up, and that's all you need. At number 6 is Nina. Nina is probably another movie that you've never heard of, and that's completely okay. This is the only movie on this list that I turned off. I do not know what happens at the end, because it's such a bad biopic, man.
Black is the color of my true love's hair. Do you know who I am?
Yeah. My mother used to listen to you.
And it's a by-the-numbers biopic, and if you have heard of this movie, probably the only thing that you heard of is the controversy with, what's her name? Zoe Saldana. She plays Nina Simone, who is this amazing singer. You know, like, something I will give the movie credit for is, I did not know who Nina Simone was before the movie. I watched the movie and was like, this movie's horrible, but I bet the person's amazing. I looked it up and the person is amazing. Zoe Saldana is incredibly miscasted. I think that she's a really good actress, but she does not belong here. She attempted, you know, I can give the girl credit. But the story was so, like, Hollywood styled, not true, that I was just like, I cannot fucking watch this shit anymore. At number 5, Mike Epps. He was really good in Nina, but he's so fucking horrible in Meet the Blacks, man. I can't even tell you what this movie is. It's like under the same thing, the same problems that I have with The Do-Over and Central Intelligence. It's this movie that tries to be something different, and tries to be really funny, but then tries to be really good in the end. Which I can't, like, this, oh my god, it's so horrible.
I'm a black man in Beverly Hills. This is it. Our new home, new beginnings.
We got money!
What are you worried about?
Worried about how you got it.
Let's enjoy this.
Welcome, neighbors.
We are
The Smiths.
My name is Carl Black.
It's a little ironic that your name is Black.
Don't say it, bitch.
Here, I'll try to give you the storyline. You're just gonna be like, what? So, Mike Epps plays his dad who steals money from this dude. He steals money and he leaves, and they go to this neighborhood. They live in this, like, kind of white suburban neighborhood, and the purge is happening. They live in the world where the purge is happening, and they start messing with the neighbors, and they just get involved with the purge, but they try to go through their family problems, and he's trying to hide the money from his family. The movie has like 3 separate plots, and they're so random and so weird and out of control, and Mike Tyson's there. There's so many little cameos. George Lopez plays the president. It's a really, really badly made movie. It's on Netflix. You can check it out if you want, but everything is so stereotypical, and it's bland, it's boring, it's so lazy, and nothing's funny about it. There's like nothing, there's no funny parts. Like, at least with the Haunted House and Haunted House 2, Marlon Wayans can get a little bit of chuckles there, but those movies aren't even fucking good, so why even attempt to try to do a movie like that, Mike Epps? Good fucking God. And at number 4 is Now You See Me 2.
It's all in the wrist.
Not bad. Now you want to see a thing of beauty? Bingo, bango, bongo.
That's good. It's good to be positive despite making zero progress in a year.
Now You See Me 2 is something that isn't as bad as the others on the list. Like, I actually kind of regret of putting it really high because out of all of these movies, I would rather see Now You See Me 2 again. But I didn't like I didn't like the first one. Like, I liked the first 2 acts, but then once again, those stupid plot twists. Once they hit the plot twist, it's so bad. And Now You See Me 2 has the problem of, like, it's now anything is possible. Oh. But anything is possible. They're like, the sky is the limits. Patrick, are you okay? My Neighborly Discussions host that's on every Saturday. The sky's to the limit in this movie. Like, in the first one, there were kind of limitations, and there was like, okay, there's kind of a secret to what they're doing. But in this one, there's like, you take this tunnel, you're in America, and then when you go down the tunnel, you're in China. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we actually are doing magic here. But there are some cool parts, like, they do have some good chemistry, but the entire movie, I was like sitting here, like, there's a scene with Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, they're just really good with each other, and I'm just wondering, what the hell, man? Why are we getting a sequel to this shit, and not a sequel to Zombieland, which you guys have been talking about since the movie wrapped? I don't get it. And number 3 is Dirty Grandpa. This is like the first lackluster of the year. Zac Efron and Robert De Niro, they co-star along each other, and it's such a bad, offensive, horrible movie. And the entire thing, you're wondering, wow, Robert De Niro, why?
Got my grandpa. He's not doing too well. My grandma just passed.
Why do you have to take him to Florida? It's just with the rehearsal brunch on Friday. I'm just freaking out.
You have to worry about anything. Grandpa, you ready to hit the road? I thought the plan was to have breakfast here.
That's your breakfast. Now let's get in that giant labia you drove up in and get the fuck out of here.
Why? And by what I remember, I think that the movie bombed. I know it bombed critically, but I think it bombed financially too, because it's such a pathetic premise, and it's like, just everything about it, like, it was, Dirty Grandpa is like, it was been there, done that because of Johnny Knoxville's Bad Grandpa, and I'm pretty sure that's why it was just so badly criticized. And Zac Efron and Robert De Niro, they didn't really have any chemistry. It just felt so bland and out of place. And I don't know, like, the story. And Aubrey Plaza, man, while she's hot, man, she's super, super hot. I don't think that she is a necessarily good actress. Like, I actually shouldn't say it, because she's really good in Safety Not Guaranteed and Funny People. She's a really good, like, kind of dramatic actress when she's in those indie movies. But when she's in these studio comedies, she's now doing this new thing, like what Cameron Diaz is doing, where she, like, is just doing whatever. Like, she's doing whatever she wants in Jennifer Aniston, and it's cool, but it's just like, it's kind of forced. Like, the same thing with Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Well, I think that Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates is a lot funnier than Dirty Grandpa. It suffers the same thing, where it's just like, just trying to be offensive just to be offensive, and it's not really necessarily funny. It's just really, really lazy and bad. So number 2, here's where the controversy is going to sink in, but you know what? I really didn't like the movie. Suicide Squad.
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet. They're bad guys. Worst of the worst.
I really didn't like it, man. I was trying to rewatch it today, and you know what? I was like realizing as I was watching it, it's kind of good. It's kind of good in segments. If you watch the Deadshot scene, not knowing that that's the beginning of the movie, like the beginning of the movie sucks. It's because if you see the entire movie together, that's where I'm just like, wow, this movie is just so badly put together. It makes me really sad, because if you watch the scenes individually on YouTube or something, they're good scenes, man. They have good, solid scenes that they filmed. It's just really badly put together. And by good scenes, I really mean like the introductory scenes. I think the movie really, really derails when it starts going with the team aspect, because they just do not feel right as a team, like these gang of criminals. They do not feel like people that would automatically be like, oh, okay, like turn good automatically just like that. Well, not really necessarily turn good, but just be like, oh, we're family and trust people that easily. It didn't really feel right, and the entire story is just fucking absurd. I know that's weird for me to say in a universe where there's an Aquaman and there's a cyborg and all these weird doomsday and shit, but it did not feel right when and especially the after credit sequence. Spoilers a little bit. The after credit sequence just basically says this entire movie's pointless. Shut your thing down. Now the Justice League is coming out. And it's like, just give us the fucking Justice League already. You already did Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, just an entire prologue to that cinematic universe. Don't make Suicide Squad yet another addition to that prologue. I'm just sick of it. I'm hoping Justice League is going to be really fucking good. I want Wonder Woman to be really good, but I just don't have faith in these movies anymore. And Suicide Squad fucking did it. I still have the goddamn poster hanging up in my room. I want to tear it up, but it kind of looks really good there, so I'm just gonna have it chill until I see another good poster coming my way. You know what? I'll do a few honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. So now, most of these movies I kind of took out because I wanted to do movies that people really know. I have this tendency of seeing movies that people don't really know. Like this movie called Search Party with T.J. Miller, Adam Pally, and Thomas Middleditch. It's the same guy Scott Armstrong wrote and directed it. He wrote Road Trip, The Hangover Part 2. He wrote some funny movies. That one's not a funny movie at all. Special Correspondence, man. Ricky Gervais. I thought that movie was going to be really fucking good. It was on Netflix, and it was, like, the first act is good, but the rest of it just derails. Flock of Dudes. That movie was, like, filmed forever ago, but it's this horribly misogynistic, creepy fucking movie starring Chris D'Elia, and he's just stalking this girl and just trying to, it's this movie with like a funny premise and has all these really funny comedians, but it's just really creepily done, and it's just like all the jokes and the tone and the humor is really rapey, and it just didn't feel right, and I didn't like that movie. Hail Caesar. I didn't hate that movie, that's why I didn't put it on the list, but I remember going to that movie just being like, wow, this is not what I thought it was going to be. London Has Fallen, Zoolander 2, and what else did I put on here? Oh, and Elvis and Nixon. I thought that movie was going to be better than it was. Okay, and now my number one pick, 9 Lives, the cat movie that Kevin Spacey starred in.
So, what you doing in there?
Wait a minute. I'm a cat!
And Christopher Walken's there and Jennifer Gardner. Wow, this movie, there's a lot of reasons why this movie's horrible, but it's one of those movies where it's just like, wow, I think people should see it just to believe it. Just to be like, wow, all of that really happened. Especially the ending. It's just like, wow, they did that. Okay. The movie's directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who the guy that is the DP for great movies. Raising Arizona, Blood Simple. He did a lot of the early Coen brother movies. He did Throw Mama from a Train, but then he directed his own movies, and he did Men in Black, which is not bad. Men in Black 2, horrible. Men in Black 3, not bad. Big Trouble, not bad. He does a lot of not bad movies, but this movie's fucking horrible. This movie's horribly done. It's like made like on a green screen, I'm pretty sure, like a green screen and then a few sets. Like the budget was probably like $5 million, and then the rest of the millions went to the actors, because this movie did, like, if it's outside, it feels like so overly CGI'd, and they're like just standing right in front of a green screen. It's boring. There's a lot of corporate nonsense in this movie. There's really, really dark undertones, which I thought I was going to dig, but I didn't. It just, this movie was trying to be like that typical like Jim Carrey type Garfield little loony comedy, but it's not. Like it tries to be an actual, like, it tries to be one of those kid family movies that tries to appease the adults and the kids. And something that one of my favorite Barry Sonnenfeld films, actually, which isn't a critical darling, is this movie called RV with Robin Williams. It's so fucking funny, and that's what I wish that this movie was, because that's a perfect blend of what kids like and what parents like. Because that movie's so perfectly dark and cynical, but funny and good enough for children. Like, sure, there's some a little bit of jokes that go a little too far and some language in it, but I think that movie's a fuck ton better than Nine Lives. I just don't know what went wrong with this movie, but whatever did, it went wrong. Like, Kevin Spacey's horribly miscasted. Like, he looks really old in this movie. I don't know why they made him look so fucking old, but they did. They made him look like very, very, very old. I know that he's old, but in this movie he looks really old. Especially him being married to Jennifer Gardner. It's like, yay! And having a young daughter. It's like, why are you in this movie? It seems like you should be you should be the Christopher Walken role. Yeah. It's horrible. Alright guys, alright guys, those are my worst movies of the year. That's my personal opinion. What do you guys think? What are your worst movies of the year? What do you think is the worst, the bad, the laziest? Yeah. Let me know in the comment section. Stay tuned for my best of. It's not going to come out for a while, probably until after Christmas. So I'm probably going to hold off on this too. No, I'm just joking. But I'm gonna hold off my best of for a little bit, just because I wanna see La La Land, I wanna see Manchester, I wanna see those good movies before I really bring out my list. That's something I regretted last year. I really went right into it, even though I saw some good movies. I went right into it, and I missed some good ones. Alright guys, that's my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Remember to like, subscribe, blah blah blah.